Great Scott, this film has released my truncheon from my underdrawers. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be covering Trap. Now, fair warning, chaps and chapettes, there will be spoilies! And I don't mean that your tin of jelly deals in the pantry's expired. This film is by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, and through this moving picture show, we are following a rather repugnant man by the name of Cooper. Cooper, played by the powerful presence of Josh Hartnett. This chap here decided to take his darling daughter to the most yearned-for treat of her life. This was seeing the fair and beautiful Lady Raven in the concert theatre. Eventually, this Cooper fellow finds that taking his daughter to this musical matinee malfunctions into the most malfeasant melody of mishaps and malice ever performed by one man. Throughout this moving picture show, we see the layers of a man from doting father to vicious killer. All is shown throughout the details of Cooper's face. This could be the blank stare when having a conversation with an employee. It could be his blasé attitude to the coppers hot on his trail. But either way, you can see the motives and madness displayed on his face throughout every moment. It is later revealed that Cooper is the Butcher, a ripper of man and a woe to any woman, a fly that this very musical performance is the all-encompassing spider's web, and the spiders, they're the bobbies. This type of acting from a man of Hartnett's station shows the dedication for the art of cinema. Did I say that right? Right. Well, this dapper chap doesn't flip-flap. He pulls up his bootstrap, begins to recap on each and every trap, and even perform a walkie-talkie wiretap. What in the blazes is a walkie-talkie? Right, anyway. During this performance of cat and mouse, as the coppers get close, Cooper is slowly cornered and begins ever more daring escapades. He thieves an electronic door-opening device, he blows off a woman's face with a pot of boiling oil, lies and cheats his way to the backstage of this theatre production, and even has time for his daughter to dance a quick two-step with her hero, the Lady Raven. Murderous attention aside, he is indeed a delightful father figure. Once the show ends, our murderous malcontent, feeling cornered, shows his transportable telephone to the Lady Raven in her private quarters. This device shows a hostage in the basement of Cooper's domicile, threatening his safety with a mere click of a button. Lady Raven having no choice but to follow the orders given by our heinous Hartnett. Afterwards, the sly shyster shucks himself from the sight of the swat ever so sleekly, through his slight of the dear Lady Raven. As Cooper, his daughter, and the Lady Raven in tow enter the limousine, Cooper believes he is in control. This is ripped away from him as Lady Raven offers to escort the starstruck fan and her father back to their home. While the Lady Raven is deep within the butcher's grips in his own home, she starts to feel more and more afraid and cornered. She starts to expose the dastardly devil for what he is, the Butcher. Cooper, thoroughly miffed with the goings-on, his facade begins to break. As Cooper's two lives meet, he looks at the Lady Raven as the sole reason for his ire. As the final chapters are unfolding around us, the Lady Raven is kidnapped in her limousine by Cooper after releasing the hostage, using her Instagram followers. So, eventually the police find out where they are and cotton on to our dear friend Cooper, who makes a daring escape back into the crowd surrounding the limousine. Not so long after, the cunning Cooper decides that his dear wife and him need to have a chat. Eventually, he finds out that the reason the police knew to look for him in the Lady Raven concert was because his wife had left the ticket stub in one of his buildings. Ooh, naughty of her. Apart from being a little bit of a litterbug, it turns out that she's a grass as well. Shame for her, hey? But, as they're having this conversation, for some reason, his wife decides to ask if he would like a piece of pie. He says, "This won't stop me from killing you for about 5 bites, you know that?" But it turns out each one of those bites was laced with drugs. Delicious drugs. And these scrumptious substances that Cooper has now ingested in 5 bites of the pie, he now starts to see his mother. Or at least he thinks it's his mother. It's actually some bitch with a taser. But that taser's not enough. He needs 2 more tasers to really tase him off. and then eventually he is arrested and put in chains. As the curtains close on this picture, we are left with Cooper in chains and the hostage saved. But not all is as it seems. The handcuffs clink to the floor in the back of the bobby wagon, and we are left with a devilish grin on the side of Cooper's face. Don't ask me why it's not on his full face, it's just on the side. Overall, this was a wondrous film following the story of a ripper rather than a heroic rapscallion that risks life and limb to save the day. Instead, we get to see a murderer try and have another slay. The acting of everyone involved was excellent, with set design being an entire stadium, which does not sound like an easy feat to pull off if you ask me. I rather think that this is a refreshing look at the murder thriller genre. It's always nice to look through different eyes, as long as you're not the ones that are covered up and gagged with chains and blades and other kinky fetishist objects. I've decided that the verdict of this film is 18 shillings out of a pound. That is all. Jolly good day, everyone. Pip pip and all that. Don't forget to subscribe. And for the record, there are 20 shillings in a pound, in case you're not a Jolly Rogering Brit like myself. Good day. Oh, I see you. You want to hit that like button, don't you, you saucy, saucy person? Yes. Go on. Hit it. Hit it for the gentleman.